Right. So today, let's take a deep dive into something pretty cool, I think. Apple's brand new 15-inch MacBook Air.
Okay.
They just released this model in 2025. And we've got a really in-depth review here from TechWise Corner. And if you're not familiar with them, they're a tech vlog that really gets into like the nitty-gritty of technology.
For sure.
You know, they really break it down. And what has me excited about this is how Apple is really kind of pushing the boundaries here. Like, think about this.
Yeah.
A laptop powerful enough for video editing, but so light you barely even notice it's in your bag.
Right.
That's what they're promising anyway. But does it actually deliver?
Right.
That's what we're here to find out.
Well, and I think what's really fascinating about this is that it seems like they're going beyond, just making things thinner and lighter.
Right.
It's about how all the pieces work together to create a better experience.
Yeah.
And doing it in a way that's more environmentally conscious as well.
Right. Okay, so first impressions matter. TechWise Corner is raving about this new midnight finish.
Okay.
Not just your typical silver or space gray anymore.
Yeah, it seems like they're really going for a more sophisticated look and feel.
Yeah.
This midnight finish, I think, definitely sets it apart visually.
Yeah. And it's not just about looks, right?
Yeah.
They're using recycled aluminum for the case.
Exactly.
Right.
Really making an effort there in terms of sustainability.
Yeah.
Having a high-end device that's also good for the planet.
Right. And the reviewer goes on and on about the keyboard and the trackpad, saying they're like the best they've ever used.
Oh, wow.
Which, for someone like me who spends hours typing,
Right.
that's a huge deal.
Yeah, for sure. A comfortable keyboard, can make a huge difference in your productivity.
Yeah.
And prevent fatigue and things like that.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like they really put a lot of thought into the details there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the screen.
Right.
15.3-inch Liquid Retina Display. What makes this screen so special? It's not just about size, is it?
Yeah, so the reviewer really highlighted the vibrant colors and deep blacks, which make images really pop. And they also mentioned the exceptional brightness.
Okay.
And all of that together creates a really immersive visual experience.
Yeah.
So whether you're, working on a design project or watching a movie or just browsing the web, it's really designed to be a beautiful experience.
Now, they mentioned this True Tone technology.
Okay.
I've heard of that, but I'm not entirely sure what it does.
So True Tone, it's actually pretty clever.
Okay.
It adjusts the screen's color temperature based on the ambient light around you.
Okay.
So if you're working in a dimly lit room, for example, it won't have that harsh blue light that can strain your eyes.
Okay.
So it's a small detail that makes a big difference, especially if you're staring at a screen for hours.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, under the hood, we've got the M4 chip. And this isn't just like a regular Intel processor, right? This is Apple's own design.
Right. You're right. They've been moving in this direction for a few years now.
Yeah.
Designing their own chips. And this M4 is the latest and greatest. The reviewer called it a marvel of engineering.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what is the advantage of Apple designing their own chips?
Sure.
Does that really make that much of a difference?
Well, it makes a huge difference. It allows them to tightly integrate the hardware and software.
Okay.
So everything works together seamlessly.
Yeah.
It's like a perfectly choreographed dance.
Yeah.
And as a result, you get better performance, smoother operation,
right,
longer battery life.
Interesting. So it's not just about raw power. It's about optimizing how everything works together.
Exactly.
Now, the reviewer also mentioned something called Apple Intelligence.
Yes.
Built into the M4 chip. What is that all about?
So from what I understand, it's a system that learns how you use the laptop and then adjusts the performance accordingly. So for example, if you frequently use certain applications or have specific workflows,
right,
the chip will prioritize those tasks.
Okay.
And so over time, your laptop actually feels faster and more responsive.
So it's almost like it learns your habits and adapts to them.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool. All right, let's talk memory and storage.
Okay.
This MacBook Air comes with 24 gigabytes of unified memory. Can you break that down for us? What does that even mean?
Sure. So imagine, your computer's memory as a workspace.
Okay.
Unified memory is like having a really big open workspace instead of several smaller separate ones.
Okay.
So the RAM and the graphics memory are combined,
Right.
which allows data to move around much faster.
Okay, so for someone who's not a tech expert, why should I care about unified memory?
Right.
What does it actually do for me?
Well, think about multitasking.
Okay.
If you have a lot of applications open, or if you're doing something memory intensive like video editing,
Yeah.
unified memory allows your laptop to handle all of that without slowing down.
Okay.
So it's all about a smoother, more efficient experience.
And this model comes with a 512 GB SSD.
Okay.
I know SSDs are fast, but can you explain why that matters for everyday use?
Sure. So SSDs are like the superhighways of data storage.
Yeah.
They allow your laptop to access information incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
So this means your laptop boots up in seconds, apps launch almost instantly, files open without any lag.
Right.
So it's a huge quality of life improvement.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to something that's become super important in our, video call world.
Yes.
The camera.
Of course.
This Air has a 12 MP center stage camera,
Okay.
which sounds impressive, but what does it actually do?
Yeah, so Center Stage is a really cool feature that uses AI to keep you in the frame during video calls.
Okay.
Even if you move around. So imagine you're on a video conference
Right.
and you need to get up to grab something.
Mm-hmm.
The camera will actually follow you, so you stay perfectly centered in the shot.
That's pretty slick. I can see how that would be useful, especially if you're, presenting or teaching online.
Right.
And for security, they brought back Touch ID.
Yes.
Good old Touch ID.
So Touch ID is a great balance, I think, of security and convenience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fingerprint sensor that lets you unlock your laptop, authorize payments,
Right.
access secure data with just a touch.
Yeah,
And so it's much faster and more secure than typing in a password every time.
for sure. Now, with all these powerful features, I would expect the battery to drain pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What did the reviewers say about battery life?
Well, actually, the reviewer was very impressed.
Okay.
They got almost a full day of work out of a single charge.
Wow.
So it seems like Apple has really optimized the M4 chip and the software to be incredibly energy efficient.
That's a big plus for those of us who are always on the go.
Right.
What about connectivity? What kind of ports does this Air have?
Well, it's got a decent selection,
Okay.
including Thunderbolt and USB-C, which is pretty standard these days.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it comes with the latest Wi-Fi 6E
Okay.
for super fast and reliable internet connections.
So it sounds like they covered all the bases there.
Yeah.
Now let's talk software.
Okay.
This MacBook Air runs the latest version of macOS,
Mm-hmm.
which I've heard is really smooth and user-friendly.
Yeah.
But what makes Apple's software different from, say, Windows?
Well, I think Apple's real strength is their ecosystem.
Yeah.
The way their devices work together is unmatched.
Right.
So, if you have an iPhone and an iPad,
Yeah.
they integrate seamlessly with your MacBook.
Okay.
So you can, start working on a document on your phone and then pick up right where you left off on your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about a unified experience.
That's one of the things Apple has always done well.
Yeah,
They think about the big picture and how all the pieces fit together.
for sure.
And the reviewer also seems convinced that this MacBook Air is built to last.
Yeah, they seem to really believe that the combination of the M4 chip, the unified memory, and the fast SSD will make this laptop relevant for years to come.
Right.
So it's really designed to handle future software updates and evolving user needs.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. I'm really starting to get a feel for this new MacBook Air.
Yeah, me too.
Let's take a quick breather and then come back to discuss what this all means for you, the listener.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've gone through like a ton of details
Yeah.
about this new MacBook Air, and it's clear that Apple has packed in a lot of innovation into this machine.
Right.
But I think it's time to kind of step back and ask, what does this all mean for the average person?
Yeah, I think that's the key question, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the specs and the tech jargon,
Yeah,
but ultimately, it's about how this technology can actually benefit you, the listener.
absolutely. So imagine this. You're a freelancer, maybe a photographer or writer,
Mm-hmm.
and you're always on the go. You need a laptop that's powerful enough to handle your work, but also light enough to carry around our day.
Yeah.
You want a beautiful screen that's easy on the eyes, even when you're working in a coffee shop or something.
Right.
And of course, you need a battery that won't die in the middle of an important project.
For sure.
Does it sound familiar?
Absolutely. And it seems like this new MacBook Air really ticks all those boxes.
Yeah.
It's designed for mobility and productivity without compromising on power or performance.
And it's not just for creative professionals, right? This laptop could be great for students, business people.
Oh, yeah.
Really anyone who needs a reliable and versatile machine.
For sure. That combination of performance portability and that long battery life,
Yeah.
I think makes it a compelling option for
Yeah.
a lot of different users.
Now, the reviewer didn't really mention any downsides.
Mm-hmm.
Is this laptop too good to be true?
Well, I think it's important to remember that every device has compromises.
Right.
And one thing to consider is the price. Apple products are known for their premium pricing.
Right? Yeah.
And this MacBook Air is likely to be no exception.
That's a really good point. And it's something that, potential buyers will need to weigh carefully.
Yeah.
Are the premium features and the design worth the extra cost?
Exactly. That's a question only you, the listener, can answer.
Yeah.
It depends on your individual needs, your priorities, and your budget.
Right. And I think it's also worth mentioning that this is just one review.
Right.
While TechWise Corner is a reputable source, it's always a good idea to check out other reviews and get different perspectives.
I completely agree. Do your research before making a big purchase like this.
Yeah.
Read what other users are saying, compare specs and prices, and make sure that the laptop really aligns with your specific needs and your workflow.
Yeah, but it's clear that Apple has kind of set a new standard here.
Yeah.
They've really pushed the boundaries of what's possible in an ultra-portable laptop.
Absolutely. The combination of the M4 chip, the unified memory, that stunning display, and the all-day battery life is really impressive. It'll be interesting to see how other laptop manufacturers respond to this.
Yeah, I'm already curious to see what they come up with next.
Me too.
So for our listener who might be on the fence about this MacBook Air, what would you say are the key takeaways?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Apple is really focused on the user experience with this model.
Okay.
They've thought about how people actually use their laptops.
Yeah.
And they've designed a machine that's both powerful and intuitive.
And they haven't forgotten about sustainability either.
Right.
I mean, the use of recycled aluminum is a big step in the right direction.
Definitely. It shows that they're taking environmental responsibility seriously.
Right.
And I think that's something that a lot of consumers are looking for these days.
For sure. Okay, so this MacBook Air seems like a winner.
Yeah.
But it comes at a price. Is it worth it? That's the question we're going to explore in our final segment.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's decision time. We've unpacked all the features. We talked about the pros, the cons.
Right.
And now it comes down to this is the 2025 MacBook Air 15-inch worth the investment.
It's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
And there's no easy answer.
No, not at all. Because it's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about how it fits into your life, your work, your budget, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that freelancer we were talking about.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's, constantly on the move, working from coffee shops, client meetings, maybe even squeezing in some work on a plane or a train.
Right.
This MacBook Air seems like it's tailor-made for that lifestyle.
Yeah, the portability factor is huge. And that all-day battery life means you're not tethered to an outlet.
Right.
But it's not just about being lightweight, right? It's got to have the power to back it up.
Absolutely. And that's where the M4 chip really shines.
Yeah.
The reviewer was blown away by the performance, especially for tasks like, photo editing, video editing.
Right.
That kind of power in such a slim design is really remarkable.
And we can't forget about that gorgeous Liquid Retina display.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a visual person, whether you're a designer, a photographer, or just someone who appreciates a beautiful screen,
right,
this is going to be a major selling point.
For sure. It seems like they considered every aspect of the user experience, from the performance and design to those little details, like true tone technology that reduces eye strain.
Yeah. So for someone who is considering taking the plunge, what are your final thoughts? What should they keep in mind?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to be honest with yourself about your needs.
Yeah.
And your budget. This is a premium laptop.
Right.
No doubt about it. But if you value performance portability, that seamless user experience, and you're willing to pay a premium for that,
right,
then the 2025 MacBook Air 15-inch might be the perfect machine for you.
I think that's really great advice. Don't get swept up in the hype.
Right.
But really consider, if this aligns with your priorities and how you'll actually be using it.
Exactly. And if you're still on the fence, I highly recommend checking out the full TechWise Corner review.
Yeah.
They go into a lot more detail about the specs, the performance benchmarks, their overall impressions. So it's a really great resource to help you make an informed decision.
Right. We always say knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more informed you are, the better equipped you are to make a choice that's right for you.
Exactly.
Sure.
And sometimes even if you decide, this particular laptop isn't the right fit, just the process of learning about it can help you clarify what you're looking for in your next tech purchase.
Maybe you realize you really prioritize a touch screen or a convertible design or a specific price point. There's there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about finding what works for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, technology is a tool.
Yeah.
It's meant to serve you and help you achieve your
Yeah.
goals.
Right.
So choose the tool that empowers you to do your best work, to be your most creative self, and to live your best life.
I love that. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
We hope this deep dive has been helpful and insightful.
I hope so too.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.